أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همسه ونفخه ونفثه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. بجاه سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله، إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى. الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات. All praise is due to Allah. All adorations is the reservation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we seek His blessings and mercies in multiple and multitude upon the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the rest of the prophets and messengers of Allah. We equally seek His reward in abundance for our parents as well as our tutors, guides, teachers, shuyukhs, murshidun, and those who have impacted our life in one way or the other. We ask Allah to extend the reward towards them. And equally, we extend the greetings of Salam Ramadan, Barakah Ramadan, or Happy Ramadan to the family of humanity at large. Today is the 5th day of Ramadan, year 1444 after the Hijrah of the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, equivalent to the 28th of March, year 2023 CE. We are going to discuss today, inshallah, on the third aphorism of AtaiLlahi Al-Sakandari. And for anyone watching this for the first time, so we are reading from the book AtaiLlahi Al-Sakandari, or Sharhu Hikam AtaiLlahi Al-Sakandari, the explanation on the aphorisms or on the spiritual or Sufi aphorisms of AtaiLlahi Al-Sakandari. So that is the name of the book. And we are treating today the third aphorism, which reads, Sawabikul himami la takhriku aswar al-aqdari. Sawabikul himami la takhriku aswar al-aqdari. Let me explain before the translation the roots of the words, of each word that we have in this aphorism. Sawabiku is the plural form of sabiku, okay, or sibaku in the nominal form, sibak. Sawabiku. Al-himamu is the plural form of al-himmatu, al-himma. And al-aswar, aswar is the plural form of sur. It is the plural form of sur. And al-aqdar is the plural form of al-qadaru. Al-qadaru. Sawabiq, literally, is desperations, or in a very simpler form, determinations. Okay, desperations or determinations. Al-himamu, it is in a very simple form, it is desires, or in other words, we can say it is aspirations, to aspire, thing, aspiration. Aswar, it is like gardens, a covered place, a secured place, a secured entity, aswar. So that is gardens, like fences. Okay, I think fence will do a better judgment there. Fence. Okay, because if we say garden, we have another direct Arabic word for that, which is al-hadiqa, or al-hada'ik in the plural form. So here, aswar is used, not al-hadiqa, not hada'ik. So we are talking about the fence, but both of them could also mean conceptually a guide, okay, a securities, okay, secured place. Al-aqdar, as we said, is the plural form of al-qadar, which could be literally translated as destiny. Destiny, in other words, it could be translated as fate, F-A-T-E. It could also be translated as decree. Decree, something that has been stamped and sealed, that cannot be changed or tampered with, al-aqdar. Now, from this literal worldly translation, so let's try to bring a conceptual translation for the aphorism. I read again. Sawabiqul himami la takhriqu aswar al-aqdari. The desperate aspiration, that is, la takhriqu aswar al-aqdari sawabiqul himami. We can also read it in that form. La takhriqu aswar al-aqdari sawabiqul himami. So sawabiqul himami becomes the fa'il here. Okay, but we can postpone it. Okay, sawabiqul himami la takhriqu aswar al-aqdar. Aswar al-aqdar becomes the maf'ul bihi, the passive form. Okay, the predicate. Okay, we have the subject, which is sawabiqul himam. Then from la takhriqu aswar al-aqdar becomes the predicate. But aswar al-aqdar specifically becomes the object. in the passive form. So the Sawabiqul Iman becomes the subject in the active form. Okay, La is what we call it La Nahiya. That is negation. Okay, negative word or letter. Okay, the takhriku becomes the fi'lul mudari. Okay, al-jari. So what do we call it? Active simple present tense. Okay, simple present tense. Now, the desperation in aspiration cannot pierce, P-I-E-R-C-E, cannot pierce, that is, cannot break open, aswar al-aqdari, the fence of decrees, the fence of destiny, the security of destiny. We read again. So the desperation and aspiration cannot break open the fence of destiny. So لا تخرق أسوار الأقدار سوابق الهمم. The fence of destiny, the security of destiny, a secured destiny cannot be pierced open by desperation and aspiration. So what this aphorism simply means is that it is actually interpreting the previous aphorism that we treated yesterday. Okay, as we mentioned in the beginning, each of the aphorisms is connected to, it's an interpretation, it's a clear interpretation or additional interpretation of the previous aphorism and a connection, an introduction to the succeeding aphorism. So by this aphorism is an additional information to the aphorism that we treated yesterday. And it is an introduction to the aphorism that we're going to treat tomorrow. Okay, so no amount of desperation and aspiration can break open the wall of destiny. Okay, as well also we can call it, we can translate it as walls. W-A-L-L-S, walls, fences. Okay, so no amount of desperation and aspiration can pierce open the walls of destiny, the walls of faith and the walls of decree. That is to say, no matter how we aspire, no matter how desperate we are, no matter how determined we become, it would not be possible for us to acquire more than what has been destined for us in life. If we are destined to get 10, no matter how much we try, we wouldn't get more than that 10 that is being destined at this time. Okay, so this is it means that as the aphorism yesterday, there is no reason for us not to work, not to aspire, not to put efforts in seeking for sustenance. There is no reason for us. We have to work, we have to exert efforts, we have to try. But at the same time, we should do it in accordance with the permission of God, of Allah. Okay? So we should not think that it is our effort and too much contribution that we do that will take us to the destination. Okay, so that is simply what the aphorism here means. Okay, so this is simple. An explanation to this is people who cheat others, who rob others, people who deprive others, people who tramp on the neck of others, thinking that they have to stay on some people's shoulder, press down some people's shoulder in order for them to climb a ladder of success. Okay, in desperation. People who bring down the success of others, thinking that that would pave the way for their own success. People who destroy other people's career in order to build up their own career. People who disrupt other people's future, thinking that blocking others' future will create chances for them. So that is high desperation. So that will not make them to get more than what is destined for them. On the other hand, people who engage in money rituals, they fall into this circumstance. People who kill others to survive, people who engage in armed robbery to survive, people who engage in kidnapping for survival, people who engage in banditry to make ends meet. They are all in this circle. This aphorism is telling you that you won't get more than what is destined for you. And if you seek for those sustenance in an illegal way, you will be punished both here in the life here, and you will be punished for it also in the hereafter. How will you get punished here? You will be caught by the hands of laws. The law enforcement agents will catch up with you. Nemesis will come, will catch up with you. Karma will catch up with you. And you will suffer for whatever you have done, whatever you have acquired through too much desperation and aspiration here in the world. And when you go after death, you will continue your sufferings and punishment. So this by extension, the aphorism is applicable to all these areas. In academics, people who engage in plagiarism, in getting published quickly to get promotion, that is also another desperation. So you will get caught and you will be brought back or lower or below the status quo. People who fail students because they refuse to accept their advance, their romantic advance. Remember this, you are in the same circle. Failing students, delaying apprentices for your own business to grow or for your own to gain promotion. No matter how fast or smart you think you are, you're going to be caught up with the rope of destiny. So that is the basic clarity and clarification of the aphorism. Again, I read the aphorism, then I go into the explanation that was given by Sheikh Ash-Sharnobi. Sawabiqul himami la takhriqu aswar al-aqdari. high desperation and aspiration cannot pierce open the walls of destiny. هذه الحكمة كالتعليل لما قبلها وتوطئة لما بعدها، يعني أن ما قدره الله في الأزل لا تخرق أسواره المحيطة به سوابق الهمم، أي الهمم السوابق، وهي قوى النفس التي تنفعل عنها الأشياء بإرادة الله تعالى، وتكون للولي كرامة ولغيره كالساهر والعائن إهانة. وفيه تشبيه الأقدار بمدينة لها أسوار في الصيانة والحفظ على سبيل المكنية، أي يجب عليك أيها المريد أن تعتقد أن الحمم أسباب عادية لا تأثير لها، وما ينشأ عنها إنما هو بقضاء الله تعالى وقدره، فيكون عندها لا بها، فإرادتك خلاف ما أراده مولاك لا تجدي بها نفعا ولا تأثير لها في الحقيقة حتى تظن أنها توجب لك رفعا. هذه الحكمة كالتعليل لما قبلها وتوطئة لما بعدها. So this aphorism, this stanza, this section is like a confirmation for the previous aphorism, for aphorism number 2. And it serves as a tawti'a lima ba'daha. It serves as an introduction to the succeeding aphorism. So what it means is that ما قدره الله في الأزل، الأزل بمعنى في البداية، في أول الأوائل، في بداية البدايات, in the beginning of the beginning, in the inception. So what has been destined, what God has destined from inception cannot be pierced open, okay? لا تخرق أسواره المحيطة به. So the walls that surround that which God has destined from inception cannot be pierced open by sawabiqul himami, by desperation and aspiration. Now, what is meant by desperation and aspiration in the Sufi sense, in the Sufi interpretation? It is quwa and nafs. It is a power of the soul. It is an authority of the soul. التي تنفعل عنها الأشياء بإرادة الله تعالى, that moves things. Okay, it is an authority of the soul. It is a power in the soul that moves and pushes things in accordance to the will of God. Okay, and this authority and power can be interpreted in many forms. And those who have that quwa and nafsi, the power of soul, the power to control the soul, to do things for them, we might label them to be witches, and we might label them to be wizards. They might be labeled sorcerer. They might be labeled fortune tellers, and they can also be labeled as the chosen ones of God. They could be prophets, they could be sheikhs, they could be pastors, they could be anything, they could be evangelists. So those who possess the spiritual soul power and authority to control things, to make things happen, either through prayer, spiritual consultation, or through some traditional means and ways. So that is under Al-Himam al-Sawabit, okay, spiritual aspiration. So when it is found with a wali, it becomes a karama. Okay, a karama is a glory, a gift that God accords to the chosen one to do what they wish in accordance to the wish of God. So if it is given to Al-Wali, a chosen friend of Allah, so we call it karama. If it happens in the hand of the prophets of God, I mean, from Adam, Noah, Ibrahim, Moses, Isa, who they refer to as Jesus, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if it is in their hands, we call it mu'jiza. We call it miracle. When I mention prophets here, I do not mean these contemporary people who call themselves prophets. Okay? So if it is in the hands of the prophets of God, we call it miracle, mu'jiza. If it is in the hand of the wali, we call it karama. Okay? And if it is done by some magicians and fortune tellers, we call it humiliation. Humiliation. Okay? We refer to it as humiliation. Ihana. So وفيه تشبيه الأقدار بمدينة لها أسوار في الصيانة والحفظ. So in this aphorism, there is a similitude of the destiny, okay, or decree of fate is similarized to a city that is surrounded by walls and fences to secure it and to protect it. Okay, so the destiny is a similitude here of a city that is surrounded and fenced round by walls for protection and security. So the aspiration and desperation cannot break through the wall, talk less of getting what is inside the wall. So that is what it means. So these spiritual assertions and aspiration cannot break through this secured wall, talk less of getting what is inside the wall. So this is an encouragement and this is a warning for Al-Murid, okay, a beloved seeker of the truth. So it means, Yajibu alayka ayyuhal murid, O you beloved seeker of truth, it is important for you to know that, to understand that, anna al-himama asbabun adiyatun la ta'thirun laha, that aspirations, desperations, plannings are just ordinary factors that have no influence on our destiny. وَمَا يَنْشَهُ عَنْهَا إِنَّمَا هُوَ بِقَضَاءِ اللَّهِ وَقَدَرِهِ. So anything that you get, anything that evolves from your aspiration and desperation and planning is surely according to the fate and destiny of God. فَيَكُونُ عِنْدَهَا لَا بِهَا. So it goes through the destiny and it comes back to the destiny. It starts with the destiny and ends with the destiny. Okay? So it is not in accordance to your aspiration. So فَإِرَادَتُكَ خِلَافَ مَا أَرَادَهُ مَوْلَاكَ لَا تَجْدِي نَفْعًا. So your desire against that which has been desired for you by your Lord would not bring any benefit to you. وَلَا تَأْثِيرٌ لَهَا فِي الْحَقِيقَةِ. And in the real sense and reality of matter, it will have no influence on whatever you are or what you become. حَتَّى تَظُنُّ أَنَّهَا تُوجِبُ لَكَ رِفْعًا. Talkless of thinking that, talkless of assuming that it is responsible for your promotion or success. To simply put, so desperation, aspiration would not go beyond that which has been destined. Okay? So in any form of life, in any way of life, in any step of life, tread slowly. Go slowly and steady. And maintain legality. Okay? Seek for what is legal for you in a legal way, in a peaceful way, without involving any arrogance, without any pomposity, without depriving others, without cutting shorts, without any shortcuts. So that is what is where we are going to stop today. Again, I read the aphorism again. سوابق الهمم لا تخرق أسوار الأقدار. Too much of desperation and aspiration cannot pierce open the wall of destiny. This is where we are going to stop. Inshallah, again tomorrow we're going to meet with yet another aphorism of the aphorisms of AtaiLlahi Al-Sakandari. So I leave all of you under the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we pray and hope to meet again tomorrow in yet another section successfully بإذن أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم وأستودعكم ونفسي في رعاية الله الذي لا يضيع ودائعه والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.